A very pleasant good morning and welcome to the Barbados Labour Party headquarters. Welcome to this morning's media briefing as we celebrate the Barbados Labour Party's 86th annual conference. This morning we are pleased to acknowledge members of the media who are present with us, and I have the opportunity to also acknowledge the conference chairman, the Honorable Marcia Cadell, who's sitting on my immediate right. And next to her is Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Labour Party, Senator Pat Paris. I'm Antoine Williams. And so this morning we will share with you highlights of the conference, the key components, and of course the pleasure of inviting all of you who are here and who are online to the Barbados Labour Party's conference, which will be held 24th, 25th, and 26th of this month at Queen's Park. I now invite Conference Chairman Marcia Cadell to offer her remarks.
Thank you. Thank you, Antoine. Well, first let me say that this year the conference is in Queen's Park, a venue that people are quite used to. We're coming home to St. Michael. It's the home of the headquarters of the Barbados Labour Party. And it's a very exciting time for us. The conference theme this year is When Labour Leads, We Bajans Succeed. And I want to say from the outset that that theme and this conference is really an opportunity for us to take stock, as we always do every year. The theme is not a boast. The theme is a standard that we feel that we've been able to deliver. It's a standard that we want to be able to uphold. It's a standard of which we do not want to lose sight, and we believe very much that Barbadians will not let us lose sight. It is about acknowledging that when we came to service as a government in 2018, that we had a lot of challenges, that we were able to restore free tertiary education, we were able to increase pensions and welfare, we were able to address some critical infrastructure issues, some critical issues of water and sanitation, and we hold that as some on-the-ground successes that we can't ever lose sight of. I think Barbadians have become used to a standard of care and of living that we want to always make sure that we adhere to. But the truth is that notwithstanding all of those issues, that there are risks and there are challenges ahead. You've heard recently all our conversations about population issues. We see these challenges as an opportunity to be innovative with the kinds of things that we do, but we also see it, importantly, as an opportunity to continue our democratic process. What do I mean by that? It is an opportunity to keep conversations open. So you've seen that this has been a Barbados Labour Party that has had Parish Speaks in a different parish every month to be able to continue to hear from Barbadians. We've been able then to pivot that to the Ideas Forum. One of the reasons we did that is that during the Parish Speaks, people came with concerns, yes, but there were also lots of Barbadians, young Barbadians especially, that had lots of ideas. And we wanted to make sure that we were able to hear from Barbadians about that. This conference is another opportunity to do that. I want to make very clear that the Barbados Labour Party Annual Conference, like many party conferences around the world, are not just about the party, are not just about the party members. It is an opportunity to celebrate them, and Pat will go into some of the details of what we'll do over the weekend. But the truth is that the annual conference is the highest decision-making body of the party. It is where party members are able to come and bring resolutions, hear about ideas, policy positions that the party has, but also make their own input into the ideology and the philosophy of the Labour Party. It is our beliefs that guide policy. It is what we value that determine how we are able to lead. We said that specifically when we launched our Covenant of Hope, that the way to know what a Barbados Labour Party or any administration values is to see the things that we identify as critical, as urgent. What a party values is how it will lead. The old people say that you have to start as you mean to continue. And so from that time that we came up with the Covenant of Hope, we were listening. We were starting to hear from people about what's important to them, and you will see that that guides everything the Labour Party does. We've always said that we are not a perfect government. No government is. But what we will always do is listen. One of the things that I'm most proud of myself that this Barbados Labour Party government has been able to do is to be able to expand democracy. I don't think there have ever been, I talked about the Paris Speaks and the Ideas Forum. I talked about open town hall meetings on a range of issues. But we also have standing committees of parliament. I have the pleasure to lead the one on governance and policy that before which the citizenship and immigration bills are now appear. We have a committee on governance and policy. We have a standing committee of parliament on economic issues. We have a standing committee of parliament, a bicameral committee, so that is the lower house and the upper house, on social and environmental issues. The child protection legislation went before the social committee. We had extremely good engagement. We were able to use the feedback that we got from people to strengthen the legislation. And I raise those things now to indicate that this conference, but also the disposition of the Labour Party, is to listen and to pause when we need to. You've seen that we're not above that, we're not beyond that. I do not think that that is any indication of weakness or of absence of capacity, as some would want to suggest, but it is an indication that you're always willing to listen, and it is never too late or you've never gone too far to be able to hear from people. And so we're proud of that. And so this annual conference is an opportunity, again, to hear from people. The tradition of the annual conference is that this is where members come, bring resolutions from their branches, talk about the things that matter to them, whether it is social, whether it is infrastructure, whether it is governance, and it gives us an opportunity to reflect as a party, to take stock, and to see how we are doing. But the conference is also an opportunity to fellowship and to remind ourselves that we have a lot in common. And so, I recall one of the first conferences that I attended, and after the awards, we had a little bit of engagement and fun with some of the MPs who tend to have different talents that you might not hear about or see on a daily basis. And I see no reason why we can't return to that model and remind each other and remind ourselves that we are all regular Barbadians like everyone else, and there are things that there are talents that we have, there are ways that we can share in other ways rather than always the most serious conversations. And so I'll let Pat go into some of the highlights of the conference, but I also want to say that the conference activities are not just limited to that weekend. Antoine will say a little bit about the cricket match that we have planned, the karaoke that has really kind of excited lots of communities across the country. Barbadians do love karaoke, but it's also a way for us to meet and to see some of the talent that we have in our communities. The Friday night we'll do our regular awards to acknowledge some of the hard work of members of the party, but also to acknowledge some Barbadians who have done outstanding work in a range of fields, from sports to technology to innovation, and we'll hear some more about that. I wanted to also say something about the Saturday conversations that ministers will have with the party, to emphasize that this year in particular we will have the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Transport and Works lead a session on the future of transport. The Minister of Education will continue having conversations on education transformation, because he has been having lots of those conversations, picking up from the last Minister of Education. And also a conversation on healthcare and where we intend to be able to go, we expect to be able to go with strengthening healthcare delivery in Barbados. So these are some of the key conversations that we'll have. That talk will be moderated and facilitated by some of our young people, because it's important to hear what the questions are from the generation that for whom we are just caretakers at this moment. And so they have concerns about what the future will hold for them, and we will have those conversations moderated by our young people. I'm going to pause there and give the others an opportunity to get into some details about the actual highlights of the conference weekend.
All right, thank you very much. And I'll now allow Senator Paris, CEO of the Barbados Labour Party, to share with you the highlights of the conference.
Thank you very much, Comrade Anton. And I want to welcome our online visitors. Welcome the media to Robert Street. It's always nice to see you here and to work with you. So a warm welcome to all of you. Our 86th annual conference starts at 8 p.m. on Friday, October the 24th, with the awards ceremony. At this awards ceremony, we will be recognizing 33 stalwarts comprising of one from the 30 constituencies. Yes, I know you might want to say we only have 29 MPs in Parliament, but there are 30 constituencies because we have a nominated person from Christchurch South. We will have the Women's League, an award to the League of Young Socialists and the Toronto branch. We will also be recognizing 10 persons for their outstanding contributions to sports. 2 cultural awards, 2 environmental awards, 1 youth award, and 1 innovation award. So we in the Barbados Labour Party recognize the important work that is being done by other persons to keep Barbados going. So we are recognizing them on this occasion. We also have other awards, and these will include the Milroy Rees Award, Chesil Rock, Ermy Bourne, and the highest award of the party is the Grantley Adams Award. On the Friday night, we will be having a guest speaker, and that guest speaker will be Barbados' Youth Ambassador, Tahir Bulbulia. He will be the guest speaker on the Friday night. On the Saturday, our delegation will be using the morning session to conduct the party's business. And we will hear from our delegates. We will have reports from the General Secretary, the League of Young Socialists, the Women's League, the parliamentary group. Those are things that make up the business session of the party. Conference chair spoke about the stage sessions, so there's no need for me to review that. Just to say that we will continue to speak to people. We are not hiding behind the scenes. So the media will be invited on this occasion to come along and hear the presentations by the ministers, so that you are free to publish it, so Barbadians know that we will continue to speak to them. The highlight of the Saturday, though, is the address by the political leader and Prime Minister, Honorable Mayor Amor Motley, and this starts at 4:30 p.m. Members of the public, and I'm using this opportunity to encourage members of the public, whether you are BD, NDP, PPP, so many others that I cannot remember, to attend and to hear the political leader's address. It is always, we are always have to provide extra room, and we are willing to embrace persons so they can come and hear what the Barbados Labour Party's government, what the work we are doing, not only as a party, but as a government. Then we will have the karaoke session on the Saturday night, but Anton will speak to that in more detail. We start our final day on the Sunday with worship. And after the worship, the 2025 executive will be introduced. The new executive of the Barbados Labour Party for 2025 to 2026, political leader, Honorable Mia Amor Motley, party chairman, His Honor, Senator the Most Honorable Reginald Farley, first vice chairman, Honorable Kirk Humphrey, second vice chairman, Mr. Kevon Henry, third vice chairman, Mrs. Shanika Roberts Odell, our general secretary, Senator Dr. the Most Honorable Jerome Walcott, the treasurer, Honorable Ian Gooden Edgell, and on this occasion we will name our National Council representatives. These are you'll have a rep from each constituency, as well as from the Women's League, the League of Young Socialists, and then you will have zone representatives as well. So all of those will be announced at the Sunday as part of the persons who will be taking the Labour Party forward into 2025-26. You would also realize that we are embracing young people. We have young Shanika Roberts and Kevon Henry, who will be serving on the executive. On the Saturday, go back to the Saturday and the Sunday, we will be having businesses come in to sell their items at our annual conference on both Saturday and Sunday. All of these business owners are clients of the Barbados Trust Funds Limited and have received financial assistance from them. They have benefited from many courses that will assist them with the management of their businesses, and these are done by the Trust Funds Limited. To name a few of the items that will be on sale, we will have confectionery, condiments, wines and spirits, healthcare products, candle, as well as beauty products. We would also have the popular Carrington's rum cream available. So come down on Saturday and Sunday, and you can buy your rum cream and other products at reasonable prices, and it is supporting Barbadians. On entering Queen's Park, the Sunday afternoon we will be spent discussing the resolutions submitted by our constituency branches. We give our people, members of the party, an opportunity to speak, and they will do so, come up with their ideas by way of submitting the resolutions. This year we have something like 26 resolutions. On entering on that we will have debated so that persons and the ordinary rank and file members can have a say on how the party should be run, things that we should do in government, implement, whether it be infrastructure or otherwise, as the conference chair spoke to earlier. On entering the gates of Queen's Park, our guests and members of the party can be assured of the usual warm BLP welcome. So we are encouraging them to come out. Our great camaraderie can be expected over the 3 days of the 86th annual conference of this great political party. So we, the members of the Barbados Labour Party, are looking forward to a productive annual conference under the theme, "When Labour Leads, we Bajans Succeed." Thank you. I'll now turn over to Anton.
Yeah, thank you very much. And our conference chair you want to do that? Let's speak about the...
Well, I think it's important to emphasize what the resolutions mean to the conference. I spoke earlier about the fact that the annual conference is the highest decision-making body of the party. And I also spoke about the fact that really true democracy in a political party is where the membership is able to identify what they feel should be the evolving ideology and values, and also specific policy recommendations that should help guide what a Barbados Labour Party in government should do. That is not to say that these resolutions or that policy positions or policy recommendations automatically become policy. But I feel, and I regret that perhaps in other quarters, not the Barbados Labour Party, but other quarters, there has not been the commitment to democracy. And I want to remind people of really what a mass-based democratic political party is meant to look like. It's meant to be a place, and the Barbados Labour Party can always remind the country of that. It is meant to be a place where people's ideas have ground, where people's ideas have space to be fertilized and to be debated, and that we come to common positions, that we thrash out where there may be differences in perspective, and that we agree on what we feel jointly is best for the party and for the country. Once in government, we hear from everyone. A Barbados Labour Party government represents everyone, but the Barbados Labour Party family and membership must have an opportunity in a democratic system to say what they feel from each branch, and this is what the resolutions are across a range of sectors. The CEO mentioned that there are 26 resolutions. They are given the full benefit of debate on the floor of the conference, when there are things to be clarified, when there are things to be explained. This is done as part of the conference. And so I think it's important for people to understand that this is business, this is substantive work, notwithstanding that we have lots of camaraderie and a lot of fun, quite frankly. Conference is a place that people come together and remind ourselves why we are a family, and also make space for new members of the family. I've noticed that with respect to membership, that we've been steadily increasing in our numbers when it comes to membership. There is a lot of space to be a member of the Barbados Labour Party, and we can talk about that some more when you come out to conference on the 24th to the 26th. Antoine?
Thank you very much, both Senator Pat, CEO, as well as Conference Chair, Marsha Caddo. And both have spoken about the business of the conference, the need for us to recognize the work that this party has been offering to Barbados, and also to recognize the work that is being offered and has been offered by our very own. But we also want to speak about the other highlights that will bring pleasure and excitement, entertainment, and continued fellowship. Over the weeks, months, we have been staging our karaoke sessions across the constituencies, simply designed to create that community vibe. Of course, in a subtle way, also share elements of the conference, but more importantly, to recognize Barbadian talent, local Barbadian talent. And as far as the list of finalists, as far as that list is concerned, there will definitely be some local talent on stage, and they're all boasting victory in that regard. So, of course, we want to encourage everyone, both the finalists, well, not the finalists, but their teams, their groups, to come out, not just to the karaoke finals, but to come out to conference, understand and feel the vibe that is offered, and then prepare yourself for the karaoke finals night, which will be following the Prime Minister's address. Another fringe event, if I choose to call it that way, as we lead up to conference, is the cricket match. For the past 2 years, but yes, we've staged a cricket match. The first one was at Dover, and then we had one at the playing field down by Hoyt's playing field. And we thought that is another way of bringing fellowship. Well attended, well supported. So why not do it again? So this coming Wednesday on the 22nd, we'll be on and at Weymouth Grounds over by the Police Sports Club, where we will have 2 teams. They're already fielded, selected, and captains are ready. The 2 teams will be led by Captain Marsha Caddo. I know I said captain now in this regard. And Captain Chantel Monroe Knight. I know you have already selected your teams.
Absolutely.
Right? You've been practicing, by the way.
Of course.
Okay,
Go
good.
for some spin bowling.
All right, spin bowling to, whoa. So, as I said, it's really about fellowship. It's about, again, showcasing some talent and skill. But cricket is what we love as Barbadians. And you would note that in the awards list, there are how many sports awards, Pat? 10. And I know among that list, we have a cricketer or 2. So all are invited to Weymouth Grounds on the 22nd. On the 22nd, so that you can enjoy cricket, lovely cricket. Our proposed time is 6 p.m., but we will confirm that, because that's early, but we will confirm that in terms of the relative time, right? Now, Rep Your Red. What exactly is Rep Your Red? Again, as a lead up to conference, we know as Barbados Labour Party members, supporters, we wear our red proudly. And so this Friday, tomorrow, we're inviting all to rep your red. Make it fashionable, make it classy, make it stylish, make it fun, but just make sure that it is red. And that is expected to be another exciting feature for our members. We have already started some prepping as far as the Queen's Park is concerned as a conference site. And tomorrow, I know we have our site meeting, yes, with all involved. The constituents, the branches, they are already indicating their placement. So we are ready. We are ready for a conference that simply speaks about when Labour leads, we Bajans succeed. One more point I want to make reference to would be the Spirit of the Conference Award. And that is an award that will be issued to the branch that creates that, the award that for the branch that brings energy, excitement, vibe, hype, and of course attention. And we will grant that award to the branch that would tick off all those boxes and of course bring all the elements to the branch, to the conference. So we're inviting all branch members, presidents, members of parliament to boost your numbers, to encourage persons to come out and to be part of our annual conference. As I speak about rep your red, once is nice, you do it twice. So we're doing it tomorrow, and we're doing it next week Friday. And next week Friday, that's the start of our conference. So that in itself will generate some additional interest. So those are the elements thus far, the highlights as far as our conference is concerned, and we invite one and all to be part of the experience. It's at this point in time that I will invite members of the media, if you have any questions specifically related to our annual conference and its highlights. Robert, you're looking at me in a very strange way.
What time is the church service? You spoke about it. It will be at, of course, Queen's Park.
Queen's Park.
And what time is it?
And that service starts at 9:30 on the Sunday morning.
No questions?
I wanted to ask.
You can indicate to whom you are
Yes.
posing the question.
To MP Carroll, if she can. And one of the main concerns that people have is the issue of consultation when it relates to national issues. We're seeing bills being placed before the Parliament, but then either roll back or there's room. I guess you want to have more conversation. I'm just wondering if the conference is going to address the issue of consultation with the people on national issues, because that has been a point raised from time to time when it comes to critical pieces of legislation and so on.
Well, I think you heard me say earlier, you heard me at pains to say earlier, that I believe that this Barbados Labour Party government has been one of the most consultative, and I would challenge anybody to look back to see the number of both kind of ad hoc legislation-based consultations as well as structures, governance structures that are in place. So I will repeat what I said earlier. Let me put this in context first. And I am aware that this is a press conference that is about the annual conference, and I'm not going to go with you too far down into the policy conversation, but I raised it, so let me respond. Now, the truth is that when we came to service as government in 2018, there was a lot of work on the table to be done. There was a lot of legislation, legislative matters, governance matters, economic matters in particular, that needed to be addressed. And this has certainly been a government that has not stepped away or stepped back from work. A government has to govern. However, in the course of that governance, what we've done, again, is set up standing committees of Parliament. I think that never before has so much legislation in the government of Barbados been open to groups, to individuals, to people in the diaspora to come and tell us what you think about the legislation and how we can strengthen it. And we have strengthened it. In every case so far, that legislation has gone before a standing committee of Parliament. It has been amended and improved. Now, to amend and improve legislation is not to suggest that the legislation was flawed. It is to say that if there are things that you've heard on the floor of Parliament, that you've heard in the second reading speech, that you've read in the legislation, that you want to have an opinion on, that you want to consult on, then here's the opportunity. Similarly, all of the Ideas Fora and Paris Speaks and so on, Barbadians have come out. And that to me is a solid indication. The willingness to consult is, I think, one of the strengths of this Barbados Labour Party government, because if a Barbadian people were not interested or had withdrawn from policy conversations, then is when you have to worry. But we continue to have very, very strong consultation with Barbadians, and long may it continue. So yes, and you asked whether we'll address the issue of consultation in conference. Conference is consultation. That is what it is there for. People come and stand in front of a microphone and speak to each other and speak to those ministers that have portfolios, speak to their MPs. That is the spirit and the tradition of Barbados Labour Party Conference and of a Barbados Labour Party government.
I have a question for the conference chair. I know you spoke about the Saturday conversations. I want to be clear. Is it only 3 conversations we're going to have, or is it that you only highlighted 3? So we're going to have the Saturday, God's willing, we'll be having consultation in relation to conversation for transformation, education-wise, healthcare, and also transportation. Just want to know if it's only 3 or if that is just, you mentioned those 3.
Well, it is those 3 that were selected. Every year we focus on specific sectors. But remember that we have the resolutions on Sunday, and the resolutions cover a range of sectors. And so there will be an opportunity to discuss sectors beyond transport, health, and education in those conversations on Sunday.
Is it possible to give me time for them since it will be the conversations?
The time.
The time for the conversations.
Or is it yet to be determined?
We will inform the media when we finalize the times. When we invite you to the sessions, we will inform you of the times.
All right. Any other questions? Yeah? You good? Everybody's good?
Huh?
You have a question?
I good.
You're good. Okay. I know you have a lot of questions, but not now. I know that.
Yeah, it's true.
Only relating to conference.
That's a conference.
Yeah.
Respect that.
Time and place. Well, thank you very much. If there are no other questions, I don't know if conference chair or Pat would want to offer any closing remarks.
Really just to emphasize that, look, this is an opportunity. If you're not a member of a branch, if you're not a member of the Barbados Labour Party, stop by your constituency office, find out where your tent is going to be, come down and spend some time with your neighbors and friends, because really that's what it is. So we invite people to come out. We invite people to come and take part in the different activities, the cricket. Prior to that, the Rep Your Red, and this is an opportunity to talk with us, to hear for us to hear from you, and we're just inviting everybody to come out.
Thank you. Pat, you good?
I would thank you, Antoine. I'd just like to thank the media for coming here with us to take our 86th annual conference messages to Barbadians. And we are not taking 86th anniversary lightly. 86 years as a political party is not 87 as a political party, and our 86th annual conference. We are not taking that lightly because it is not 8 or 6 days. So we invite Barbadians to join us. Like I said earlier, we would give the warm BLP welcome, as we are accustomed doing, as you enter the gates of Queen's Park.
Thank you very much. That brings an end to our morning's media briefing as we celebrate our 86th annual conference, and of course to share highlights of what will take place next weekend, October 24th, 25th, and 26th at Queen's Park. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing all of you present.